All right, Salam, guys. Salam, salam. Pressing 3. Let's hit it.
We are now over the western part of the Isengard mountain range. Estimated arrival in Heimdall is 1410.
Maintain current course and speed. Once we reach Ulster, adjust course to run parallel to the railroad.
Aye, aye, Captain.
You have my thanks, Your Grace. Your assistance this past week has been invaluable.
Think nothing of it. This is the Crimson Wing's job, after all. I've no doubt your first bout of field exercises in Northumbria saw you even busier than I. It is I who should be thanking you for your hard work.
To be honest, I'm having a difficult time deciding how to proceed as a teacher.
Perhaps that is a sign of General Craig's influence. I would advise you to follow your own convictions for the time being. That way, you may...
Ah, Instructor. There you are.
Cadet Arner.
Greetings, my lord.
Seeing it up close, the Courageous is truly amazing. And though it was barely used during the Civil War, its main cannon is certainly impressive as well. Perhaps we should consider deploying a number of cruisers to match our fleet of battleships.
Cadet.
It is true that during an emergency, such power may prove beneficial. Learning when to use one's power and when to refrain is an important lesson. If that is the lesson your field exercises have taught you, and I'd say it is safe to declare them a success.
Yes, of course. My thanks, Captain Arcade. I look forward to seeing you again. I wish you luck patrolling the summer festival alongside my older brother.
Damn it! How many times have they slipped away like that now? There's no end to it!
We need help from the Intelligence Division or the RMP.
Man, it'd be nice if all we had to deal with are those half-wits. But we can't afford to let our guard down. Spread out and lay low until the appointed time. Be sure you've got your ramdas ready to use.
Roger. Recommencing mission.
Red flowers?
I don't think so. There's no end to them. The eyes which served as the vessel for the bringer of miracles. But when the flame consumed the mirage, the fairy tale became that of the Empire. So as a professional, how do you intend to intervene?
Oh, was I that obvious? To be perfectly honest, I'm having a bit of trouble finding a lead. I was hoping we could work together as friends and colleagues and have ourselves a little information exchange. I could even help you bury the hatchet with the elder of your clan, perhaps?
That's right. You have an agreement with her, don't you? Well, I'll consider your offer. However, I ask that you play nice from now on, Mr. Former History Instructor. Or should I say, Second Dominion Thomas Lysander the Partitioner. I would not have expected that Olivert would be missing the party like this.
It is unfortunate, yet understandable, given the current situation. With the Crimson Wings safeguarding Heimdall's skies, I'm sure the citizens will feel at ease.
Yes, but I can't help but feel bad for him. I wonder if he's been upset over Cedric's actions of late.
Olivert isn't the type to let that get to him. You should know this as well as I.
No, you're right. He was only a young boy when he lost his mother and was adopted into the imperial family. I would have understood if he hadn't accepted me, given his early life. But he gladly welcomed me as his stepmother and was truly happy when Alphen and Cedric were born.
Yes, that is the virtue he possesses. It's easy to believe he has friends not simply across Erebonia, but the entire continent.
Yes, however, recently, even though Cedric once looked up to his older brother, he...
Pardon me, Your Majesty. Chancellor Osborne would like an audience.
Very well. Send him in.
My apologies for interrupting, my liege. You as well, Lady Priscilla.
No, it's quite all right. I shall excuse myself now.
She seems to have some worries about the prince.
It is to be expected. So long as she sees things differently from you.
Understood.
In any event, it seems things are beginning to line up with what was written in the records.
Yes, though we set the timing for the Civil War ourselves. By this point, however, the ending is all but decided. But are you certain this is all right? Leaving everything in my hands?
As I told you 14 years ago, if there truly is no other way to avoid this end, then I shall leave it all to you. It may place a great burden on my sons, but could not the same be said of you?
Yes, my liege.
So these fuckers playing a Civil War? It's just insane. Chapter 4, Rean Heimdall. Doors went back, looking at traditional Mr. Academy knows some uniforms were given out. As soon as both the main and British cameras were only allowed to remove the inner lining of their normal uniforms. As soon as both cameras were wilting under a harsh sun rays, certain events would take place that bring them all together. I'm telling you, we've covered an overview of the time period from the Great Collapse to the modern era. Starting this week, we'll be taking a more in-depth look at certain key individuals. We'll start with Draco's rights to honor, father of the Imperial Renaissance. 250 years ago, he brought the war to lines to the close, ushering us into the modern era. Though he was born as the third prince and emperor, valued as the fifth, he was born how well and ended up abdicating his status and wandering the empire. He found himself at the edge of the empire, the North Highlands. There he was welcomed by the nomadic tribes and spent a few years with them. Meanwhile, the empire's mainland had been plunged into a bloody civil war. Originally, he had no interest in the throne, but once he saw the toll the war was taking on his country, he decided to put an end to it. He started with only 17 followers, 16 normal warriors, who decided to join him in his confident knight Roland Vander. Half a year later, though Prince Strikles, well, a faithful encounter in the southeast of the Empire of Legram. The daughter of a count and leader of the Eisenritter, Leanne Sandlot, the hero otherwise known as the Lance Maiden.
I have a question. Was that person you and the other instructors fought the real Saint Leanne?
You have wondered the same thing. Saint Leanne's a legendary knight. There's no way it was actually her, but I heard the fight was intense. Well, Instructor?
Without a doubt. She was tremendously strong, and that aura of hers certainly seemed real. But it's possible one of Ouroboros' members is just posing as her. Let's put that aside for now, though.
Interesting.
Stingy.
She could be a descendant as well, or well, she did say. I don't know, maybe. By the way, 250 years ago today, on July 4th, the Warrior Lines came to an end. Now, keep in mind, the test will cover the events from just before to just after Warrior Lines, so make sure to review that time period thoroughly. I hate to admit it, but he really is good at teaching. But to be fair, he himself was a student just last year. Hers grades are pretty high, too. He looks great in glasses, too. You know, 4 days of intervals will begin tomorrow. Journal studies, military science, art, information processing, combat techniques. You'll have to cover, so good luck. Oh, you rattle those all off like it'll be easy. No way that it's going to be easy. I suppose simply have to trust in everything we've learned thus far. By the way, a little bird told me the contents of our exams and the main schedule will match out at the main campus. I wonder, will our grades be posted alongside theirs? That's right, both individual scores and class averages will be posted at both campuses. So it should be worth your time to study, wouldn't you agree? It's so blankness. Blatant. So you're just going to make us compete, and our little crown prince is going to be handed first plate on a silver platter, yeah? I can totally see that happening. No, that won't happen. In the past, thors will split up into nobles comrades, but grading has always been done fairly, you bitch. And the instructors know at the main campus, the instructors I know at the main campus wouldn't let grading tamper look fat. So at the very least, the exams will be playing a low playing field. If you say so. We're also a little war whenever you guys those exams are over. You'll have a free day this weekend to look forward to, so give the exams your all. I'll be giving exams for everyone in history and combat techniques, so please ask me anything you refuse about for tomorrow. All preparations for exams have been complete. Grades will be posted onto our main campus. But I don't expect to be problems. Our curriculum should be in sync thanks to the Orbital Net. It's great that we were able to work with the main campus instructors to come up with exam questions. All this list for students to show what they've got. Native cores have been confirmed retreating from the Empire since last month's field exercise. And according to the intelligence division, it would appear the site has drawn as well. I see. Well, if that's true, it's great news, but maybe we can stop being fully clenched all the time now. We cannot let our guards down completely. But for the time being, we can at least allow them to just be students. Take care not disclosing any information regarding questions, but feel free to clarify any questions the students have. Be a simple guiding hand in their studies. Looks like Big Bad Mr. Michael has really toned it down. He's always been very serious and responsible, but it seems like he's been thinking with his students in mind recently. Let's do our best to be as much help to the students as we can today. Right, we've still got time before the school closed for today. Well then, let's split up, gang. You have to be held over the next 4 days, and then this Sunday's a free day. Location for field service will be announced soon, so it's going to be a busy few days. So everyone's working together to brush up on the weak subjects. I guess I'm around to talk to students who look like they're having a tough time. That side. or Rose and Black Workshop. I wonder if the principal and the professor know anything about them. That sort of those would be nice, huh? And then one more perfume match in my ear bowl. I have to let it know, Rose. I'll be sure to wear this next time I see you. I will, of course, be keeping it secret from Lady Liz, as should you. Maybe I bullshit it. If it's keep secret, I shouldn't lie. That's all that matters. I use antique golf granny shit me right away, and a word is incredible. There's this age profound flavor I've gotten with it. It's like I've been sitting back in time. A cup in the morning with it, and I'm good to go for the rest of the day. Come to all sister when I'm home. I'll brew you a cup. Jokes at me, using it, I feel most rise on my baby in hospital at home. I let you see it for yourself if I could. Perhaps I'll have enough set aside for our next hot spring visit. These saving me to listen and read. I have a difficult time bringing out its true essence of mind. Eastern and Western teas are very, very differently. I've come to learn. I think it'll be much better. I think you'll be much better. If you could teach me your ways. Yeah, I didn't think about that when I gave it to her. I didn't idea of teaching her how to pair it though. The Salt Pail, year 1178. On July 1st, which is 1178, at 5:45 a.m., which is again this one, which is again the same month as right now this game's taking place, a great catastrophe struck Northumbria. In a principality in Northern Samaria, a giant white pillar suddenly appeared on the outskirts of its capital, Helias. The pillar was composed of not of snow or ice, but salt. As such, it was named the Salt Pail. A storm of salt spread outward from it, solidifying everything it touched. Despite only lasting a few days, its effects were felt for months afterward, as citizens fled south seeking refuge. In the immediate aftermath of the catastrophe, the number of victims equaled about 1/8 of the 1/8 of the country's population. That number rose to nearly a third of the population, with the inclusion of victims in the days that followed. After the incident, the church led evacuation procedures, provided aid, and employed hundreds for the British to help. In a short time, relief forces from Erebonia, Rampiria, Jerai, Labro, and the Republic were assembled in Northumbria. Meanwhile, the country's leader, Prince Balmund, who had fled to a neighboring country at the start of the catastrophe, had returned to rebuild the government. However, he was met with violence from enraged citizens for leaving them behind in their hour of need. In the end, he was forcibly removed from power, and Northumbria became a democracy. The remnants of his former armed forces were formed as the Northern Jaegers. Erebonia, their neighbor to the south, had contradictory views on the new autonomous state. On one hand, he refused to recognize the legitimacy of the new democratic government. On the other hand, it eagerly welcomed Northern Jaegers. Northumbria's extreme poverty and a focus on bringing in foreign currency meant that former soldiers were easily manipulated by the problems of imperial coin. The Jaeger Corps went around the empire, hiring themselves out to the nobility and newly developing businesses who were fighting over sepia of natural resources. They turned out to be the perfect pawns for Erebonia to use in its proxy wars and internal struggles. Despite this, massive amounts of mirror that flowed into the straits from the empire helped save Northumbria from its dire straits. 27 years after the catastrophe of the Salt Pail, the empire annexed Northumbria as reparations for the Northern Jaegers' actions in the Erebonian Civil War. As before, the Erebonian's vast resources ended up lifting the former independent state out of its chronic poverty. Shortly after the success, the Septian Church restricted access to the northern half of the country. After the annexation, however, Imperial Army Division began investigating the Pale, which had since been previously classified as an otherworldly singularity. One of the intelligence division's collaborators has been able to confirm that members of the church's dominion retrieved the Salt Pail and brought it back to Arteria. It's rumored, however, that a piece of the payoff still remains on site in Northumbria.
Okay.
There we are. Professor Gwen, you wear glasses? That's a little surprising. For some reason, my vision is unusually keen. I can see everything in excruciating detail from up close to a great distance away. Sometimes I find myself getting annoyed by specks of dust floating in the air. So to combat this issue, I commissioned these glasses to suppress my vision. Oh, that's scary as fuck. That's somehow not surprising at all. All that's left to do for the exams tomorrow is to leave them to the students. Is something you'd like to ask me about Ouroboros, perhaps? Yeah, so you knew. What are your thoughts about the report that the Jaegers and Ouroboros have pulled out of Erebonia? I struggle with and taking it with a grain of salt. The Aeons and the Black Workshop, there are far too many unseen forces work here. I agree. Regarding the main, we've reached the answer source, for better or worse. You haven't called upon her full power when finding the two of us. But what if there was something more to her, something beyond the power of a human? If she's out of the picture for good, then that's fine. Otherwise, we need to be ready for her, and by we, I mean all of you. Understood, I'll definitely keep that in mind. We work together to create the art portrait midterms. It's just Mary, I remember thinking about her still in my classes. Yeah, talking about range bearer. She mentioned it, but it seems like she has feeling for her new co-worker now. I couldn't help but give advice in the matter. Must be Instructor Macroft. In fact, there did seem to be something between us two. I didn't want to imagine that advice was okay, though.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
But these to say, so much for him. These two were both a little worried about questions of politics, not to mention all the recent changes in the political landscape. The resolution of the House of Representatives and the House of Peers, the establishment of the essential diet, and the 8 metropolis plan, it all sounds like some foreign language I figure paying. If you mind, if you have the time, would you mind help us out, Rean? There's only so much I can cover my own. Yeah, sure, but... These look good. Instructor Rean is also from test there, as we're all going over things subject by subject and teaching each other once we know best, especially in the medical field. At least for skills with me, and I'm in charge of physics. Sounds like you guys got good stuff going on here. Well, that was everything, but we haven't stroke fishing. Well, I guess where I can. Come here, let me take a look. Hey, thank you. Never hurts to ask. Thanks for your help. Aren't you saying orbital technology? For now, yes. I want to teach you about some military science and teach me about orbits. Well, it doesn't sound like there's so much I can help with here. Actually, regarding use of orbital AEDs, if you don't mind, can you give a brief overview? I have a question outside about its use based off race. Oh, yeah, scared about that too. Oh, well, that can help leave it to me. Yeah, thank you. My thanks. Rean's advice gave advice on use technology combat situations. But you two are reviewing political ethics. Indeed, unlike the other subjects, this one includes current events. I thought you could study by reading that advance. Fortunately, all these news turns around confusing. I've just spent the whole time asking Kirk questions. Sorry for keeping you wrong. Say no. Explaining these concepts to you is an excellent method of review for me. So please don't worry yourself. You really are ready to die. All right, you mind if I join you guys? I try out on our economics quiz too. At least sounds interesting. Sure, all right. I'm sorry if you, Kurt. What is it called when the market as a whole is down but one stock is high? I believe it's isolated gain. Good job, that's correct. Your turn, Wayne. What's it called when the market rises and falls drastically in a short time period? Violent waves? Almost there, not quite. The term is violent fluctuates, right? Exactly. I see. Next question, neither of you can answer this. What is the term financial gain generated through ownership of an asset? Is that question still even you, Kurt? I've narrowed it down to 2 candidates. Do you have it on the answer, Wayne? Not completely sure, but terms that pop in my head. Capital gain generated by selling assets. This is a stock for more than you bought them for. You see, 2 of us pretty common mistake. In that case, income gain, perhaps. Exactly. That was a tough one, but you got it. Oh, no, it was simply a process of elimination. You so good job, Kurt. We're both from Heimdall, but you're so much better at this than me. Oh, you're from Capital 2, Wayne? Yeah, though technically there was a short bit when I was elsewhere. Anyway, I'm thankful Kurt's here. I feel unclear to you whether his studies or practical skills. So something I'll definitely catch up to you. I'm flattered to hear you say so, however. I will continue to hone my skills as well. They've got quite spirits. Kinship or whatever. Oh, sorry, you don't see studying. Oh, what do you think we're just doing this for fun? We're actually using chess pieces to review military science. Oh, I see. Doing military science, both of them score high in that class. Like you said, maybe I'll join them since I have the chance. This reminds me of one else in school. Would it be alright if I joined you? Sure, that'd be great. Sounds a good way to kill time, at least. If you have questions, I'm all ears. In that case, can you answer? Here's a few questions. Yeah, let's see what the topic is. Using a mid-sized troop to support the siege and how to remove them efficiently. Okay, then let's start the lecture. You really instruct me to try to make this into a different class. I can't help it, so please bear with me. So there's a real question. Let's look at this from before our main troops hit the enemy with troops. As these battles, so we hit the enemy from behind, and you can have your support troop either deploy right behind the enemy or have them take a long detour and hit them from afar. From those two options, which would you choose? And then from behind, obviously, the longer you take, the more likely you are to get caught. Well, that's true. What do you think, Stark? Let's see. I think both answers are wrong. Damn, I didn't even notice. It wouldn't make sense for the support troops to engage where the main troops do. There we are, and now you got it. Dirty ass trick question. I think the support troops should make their main move while the main troops are engaged. And once they are, the support troop attacks from right behind the enemy. Yes, precisely. Having your support troops take a long detour is a waste of time. The main forces are already engaged. So yeah, that should be the end of this question. Hope it's all helpful. It was really helpful. That was a great question. All right, bring on the next question. I'll get it right this time. All right, here's another. I gave him a few.
Okay.
My main girl, Muse. Aren't you saying phases like you're making good progress? Actually, I'm having a hard time crouching. I'm sure if you helped us, we could make even more progress. Alright, I almost thought you were being serious for a second. And Muse never changes. Okay, great. So I shouldn't worry about that, but still, there's no reason for me not to help out. Well, if it won't distract you, I can help. Then it's decided. Thank you. Just for knows, you probably don't even need my help. But you may be have made a few careless mistakes. Sorry. I was criticizing you, and we're both to show one more recent concept: the variables that affect trajectory. Rotation air resistance cause trajectories to deviate. Mr. Michael was already teaching you that, huh? Yes, we're having a hard time grasping efficient the precision effect. Would you be able to teach us about it? That's actually hard for me too. When a rotating object, in this case a bullet, is hit with an external forces, air resistance, its trajectory will deviate. A bullet rotating to the right will sway, and a bullet rotating to the left will sway left. At the very least, I just remember that. To be honest, that's the extent of my knowledge on the subject. I see. That's still helpful. It's hard for me to answer questions outside my specialty. It might be better to ask Instructor Michael. That mean you're abandoning us? Would you be able to help us a little more? I feel like you're really good at breaking things down to make them easier to learn. Well then, when you put it that way, I can't refuse. He even looks cute when he's struggling. When you talk to physicists using knowledge he's gained through the experience. And of course, I spend time with something music. My marriage always forced and so tiresome. It's time. It's like I really wish I could indulging a nice guilty pleasure. Yeah, I agree, but there haven't been any good ones published lately. That went to Miss Dorf, thanks for and he's kind. That really improved top for a middle school study session. You know, you really truly enjoy it when you can read it over and over again and you're losing my head. I'm not gonna do it once I get back to my room. Hey, Rean. Oh, hello, Randy. Are you teaching military studies? Well, yeah, what Sidney was about to head out. He's got consensus of a G's to get up so easily. I was planning on studying more tonight, just for a bit. He's like, better give it to him, huh? He's offering to lend you a hand. I say you didn't waste it. Fine. It'll be alright if I help too. We may need to get a little rough with Sidney. It sounds great to me. I like these things always. Alright. Imperial Chronicle Issue 7. Special feature, orders bombarded, Juno taken by force. At dawn of June 19th, the former birthday, Port City of Orders in the Lamar province was assaulted by an unimaginably loud sound. At the same time, a giant pillar of water rose up in the bay, and 10 minutes later, there was a second roar that sunk the freighters anchored in the bay instantly, sending the enormous Port City into an immediate panic. The bombardment continued afterwards, and while no rounds fell into the sea, harbor, buildings, and ships were heavily damaged. Balar's lighthouse, the symbol of Orders, was completely destroyed. Where did the bombardment come from? The source of the soul is thought to be the very new Dragunov-class railroad cannons that were recently unveiled. Before weapons that were constructed in our western factory of the Imperial Army were stolen intact from the Valley region, more than 500 cells away from Orders. According to the Imperial Army, the new cannons have been raised as 500 cells, which is unexpected proof it was those weapons that were used. Naval Fortress briefly occupied. At 9 o'clock on the same day, as the shells rained down, the Naval Fortress near the port city was attacked suddenly and was briefly occupied. The Unified Region's army that was in charge of the fortress pushed through in a break from the railway gunfire from the valley. They said that the fortress was occupied by a Jaeger Corps and an autonomous weapon group of unknown affiliation. They are assumed to be the same group that stole the railway cannons. There was an armored group with a second corps as well. The reports are conflicted. The handling of the incident and assigning responsibility. The port city and valley areas were surrounded by confusion, but the 4 railway cannons were recovered by the Unified Regions Army, and those helping them by noon of the same day. Other companions captured the naval fortress, bringing the incident to a close. However, powers other than the captured Jaeger force fled the area, and their location is still unknown. The aircraft were given over to the Imperial Army's Delta Division, and have already had their identities discovered, but a well-informed source tells us they may not be revealed by order of the government. In any case, it appears to be clear that Marquis Valley of the Lamar province was involved in both the theft of the railway cannons. I don't think he was actually involved in that shit, and understaffing the naval fortress. Yeah, probably the second one, yeah. Making a rare statement of impeachment likely to be handed down by Imperial Provincial Council. I don't think he actually caused him to be stolen, though. Incident, strange occurrences near Halias. Also on June 19th, near Halias in the North Ambria province, an underground autonomous weapon factory was discovered and then seized and destroyed within the day. The soon to be remnant of an international criminal organization from the Northern War last year. It is not thought to be directly related to the incident of Mar. And bravo to both campuses of Thors Military Academy. The incident was handled by the Thors Military Academy students who were trained at Halias. As the head cadet, Crown Prince Cedric made the decision. And finally, the factory was attacked by the Crimson Wings, totally destroying it and allaying any doubts. Local residents were temporarily evacuated, but His Highness' directions and care for the wounded were perfect. He's not your average student, says one classmate. Incidentally, students at the Academy's branch campus contribute to the handling of the incident. Lamar gave an additional sheen and pride to the Horn Line Quest culture. Preparation for the summer festival began. 1 month later, other areas of the Empire, the time for Heimdall's Summer Festival is nearing. The event will be held July 17th through 19th. This year, this is slightly short, but will be full of celebrations and events like the Summer Festival. Yeah, a concert and summer races and a special performance of the opera. Event stars the Ancients of Mirror Civilization beginning on July 7th in the Alicia district of Heimdall. The Stars and Ancients of Mirror Civilization exhibit will open at the museum, and the event will last the entire month, and many are expected to visit during the summer festival. The permanent exhibits in the entrance hall are also said to be enjoyable. The courier reminds us to let your mind go back to the romance of ancient times. Valerie, what are you doing here? Is there a problem? And I was wondering why you weren't studying for exams. Everyone else has gone together and started studying their weakest subjects. Unless I do the same as everyone else. Besides, exams are for measuring your average knowledge. If you cram the day before, it's not a proper measurement. Well, I suppose, but I thought Valerie had opened up a little since she got here. But I guess she says just look whatever. Oh, you're joining Mars Rouge Club, right? So how's that going? Well, that's Rex. That's all, bitch. Are you a jump club? Yeah. Well, let's say I am. What does it matter to you? I appreciate if you quit prying my personal matter. I got nothing to talk about. Is that so? I sure can't continue. I have a problem. I'll talk other members for club first. Pablo Gustav. So can we talk? Second ring was it? I want to talk to you about Valerie. Something happened in the Modern Music Club. Well, seems like Valerie on the fire or something. Valerie hasn't shown practice soon. I knew this would eventually happen. Why is that? Well, Valerie's the kind of person who should try to put spot one, not because of her personality, but because more of her upbringing. Valerie always seemed to carry herself like a noble, and sometimes she almost reminds me of music and Tatiana. Kind of person from her. Nobles are extremely rare in North Amber these days. I wonder if she grew up around resilient around those. I don't know. Self speculation. Good point. I need to ask her about it regularly. Thanks for the soft to the help. I just mentioned I didn't do much. See what's going on. Talk to Pablo next. Hey Pablo. Can we ask something? I want to talk about how you got a big fight for. Oh yeah, we argument got out of hand. We haven't talked since. On the start. I'm not sure on vocals. She never sings in front of people, but I've heard her a few times. Her voice is too good. I asked her to take over vocals there even just once, you know, and she wouldn't have it. God, we'd be pissed. Next thing you know, we were going at it. I think I heard her sing too. I couldn't remember. She got a nice voice. I know she doesn't want to be in the spotlight, but I just think that it'd be a great waste of time to shine, didn't it? I know I went overboard myself. Problem isn't, I can figure out how to make things right. Yeah, I'm going to talk to her one last time. Can you wait a little longer? Show her Rean cheers. I appreciate it. I think I got a better situation. I should probably go talk about her again. You know what? Instructor Schwarzer, are you still here? Yeah, talk Pablo and Gustav. I think you should find a way to make up with Pablo. You're such a busybody. Well, if it were just a normal argument, I wouldn't have to be like this. But it seems like there's something you've been balling up. I'm sure you'll deny it, but you want to be on Vols more than anyone, don't you? That's true. That's not true. Well, sorry if I am being a busybody, but you're from North Ambria, right? So what if I am? It's just that if that were the case, I can imagine circumstances you must have endured. Well, you're wrong there, but back in when North Ambria was still a principality, the nobility system was still in place. After North Ambria disaster, the government was remade and nobility abolished, so they kept their wealth to some extent. Poor countries like ours, children born to wealth and comfort, were of course victims of envy and spite. Alright, on top of that, I have never seen the truth as my family is related to the former Grand Prince of North Ambria, Balmund. The former Grand Prince, and I'm sure you know the story, you're a history teacher after all. Grand Prince Balmund, a traitors ruled North Ambria during the last 20 years ago. Apparently any family connected to him is a family of devils, mine included. I'm gonna say such a thing. I gave him a team to keep that secret, but I don't care anymore. Anyway, it's probably best you not get involved with devil. So please start to leave me be. I can't do that. Valerie, how come you didn't tell me it seemed so fair for someone who's done nothing wrong to be treated like that? Hey, how long were you two here? We were pretty much the whole time here. Sorry. Paul and I were just worried, though. This is just a school full of busybodies. Fine, I'll let you know as well. Nothing good will come social media for me, but don't be that. You hear that stuff even made me angry. Family of devils, none of that matters in the world of rock. Alright, come and think of it. It might even come in handy. Rock's all about the soul. You bring it up, ringing doesn't enough about a wee about it. Here, Valerie, it's about time you start bolding. It's all up. These motions like a fire and let them blow right up. He means he wants to play rock and roll music with you. All right, man. I'll get the key. Hey, yeah, you get me, Instructor Rean. Hey, what are you? How did it end up like this? No use whining about it. You just gotta do it. No, screw it. That was brilliant. Your music was almost entrancing. I'd say it was pretty darn close to professional sounding.
Flattery won't get you anywhere.
No need to be so shy. She was square 1,000 times better than any lyrics to follow my knob or whatever the fuck she said. From now on, you'll be focused on vocals. That's alright, you, Valerie?
Fine, whatever.
I guess it's too late for me to back out anymore anyway. Secret's out now. Does that mean you'll agree to it? Yeah, I give up. Yeah, it's getting there. If anything, they're gonna get better from now on. She's hot. Alright guys, all for this one here. Proceeding 3 out, peace with you. Then y'all have a damn good one. Bye bye. Love y'all.